Hello, welcome to my channel, Welding Tips and Demonstrations. Right, so today we're going to demonstrate one of these handheld flux cord welders. Now, I first saw this on Facebook, and then I had read a few reviews on it, and they were saying how good it was, this, that and the other. So I thought I'd just buy it myself, but I never buy off Facebook. So as I looked on eBay, couldn't find anything on eBay. However, we found it on the Amazon platform, which was 110 volt. And that was one particular reason why I brought it for, being 110 volt. I'm running a generator at the moment that has an 110 output of about 3 kVA. So I have got a transformer here, which is the same, 3.5 kVA. So what we're going to do, we're going to rig it up to the transformer, and then we're going to do some bench tests on it, see what it's capable of, and also we can get it back on the field and then plug it into the old generator and see what happens, whether we destroy it or not. That's another thing. But if you can see, it's a high zone handheld flux cord MIG welder, which is like tiny, really. It doesn't weigh a lot. It's got the IGBT technology, so as we'll get this out the box. First of all, let's have a look at it, shall we? Let's see what how it is. It comes in this nice little box. Well, actually, it's well packaged, well protected, should I say, in this foam. Let's have a look what's in the package. So as we've got some instructions. It's called a MIG 100H. I take it is probably 100 amps, so as it'd be ideal for light stuff. We've got a couple of tips in there, which they look like standard M6 tips, and they are 0.9, which is like, it's an American equivalent to the flux cord wire what we're going to be using. Not sure what it is in Imperial. So let's have a look, see what we got in here. I'm pretty sure. Oh yes, that's what I was worried about, whether it was supplied with actual flux cord wire, and it is. 3/4 of a roll of flux cord wire. So we got a little wire brush. Well, you know the best place for that, don't you? Yep, in the bin. Let's have a look at the unit itself. Well, that's quite it's like something out of Star Wars, isn't it? It's quite impressive, to be honest with you. That is lightweight, that is. How on earth? So as we've got your power switch, we've got your amps and your volts, 0.8, 0.9 flux. So there's a variation in wire, which is not a lot really. And we've got a power switch here. Well, obviously that's the on and off switch. And also looking at it as well, we've got a little temperature light, so as it tells you when it's overheated. So this is going to be interesting little machine to set up. Duty cycle, have we got anything on the duty cycle? Yes, we have. 100 amps, and it's saying it's 30% duty cycle. 70 amps is 60% duty cycle. And 50 amps, they reckon it's 100% duty cycle. So 50 amps might be good for one millish. Who knows? Well, we won't know until we get it going, because these are never quite accurate anyway. But let's get it. Let's get a plug on it. Let's get a yellow plug on it, and then I can plug this directly into the transformer and into my my welding generator. So what we're going to do now, we're just going to nip that off. And to be quite honest with you, the length of lead is quite generous. It's probably about I would say 2.5 meters of lead with it. So that's not too bad. And the return lead, or earth lead as most people like to call it, that's just over 1 meter on there, so it's not too bad. Impressions so far, it seems to be well made, and the old so look, so we can access the how quick it is for that. Oh, that's nicely. That's a nice little setup. And we got your tension for your rolls, and we actually got 0.8 roll in there. So the other roll is a 0.9, so that's quite good. Right then, well, let's get this set up and then put it to the test, see where we are. Right then, we've managed to source a 110 volt plug. Got this into the transformer now, so as we're going to switch this on for the first time. Now, what a lot of people do as well with gasless wires, you don't need a shroud on there. Don't know why they put a shroud in with the gasless wire thing. My advice is take the shroud off. You won't need it. You can see the tip and you can see where you're actually welding rather than being back from the shroud and guessing. So I think it's more accurate. So we'll switch this puppy on now. Just make sure it don't blow up. That was another thing as well. There's just 2 wires. There's no earth wire in the plug. There's just live and neutral. So it's just 2 core thick cable. This whole thing seems to be well insulated anyway with an hard ABS plastic. Let's switch it on, see what happens. Okay, the first thing I noticed, the fan is on, and the fan is quite powerful, so I suppose that's going to keep that nice and cool. Let's see. Now, as a rough guide, voltage and amps. So let's go for something. Well, there's no numbers on here at all. There are digits, but we can work out where we go with that. So what I'm going to go is like nearly halfway on both, and let's have a look to see what happens with that. Now, as you can see, I'm wearing no gloves, but we're going to use this little bit of a plate, which is quite thin. I've done some weld tests on before with normal MIG, and that's about 1.2 thickness, perhaps 1.5. Well, let's see if we can see what happens with the run on here. Now that is actually quite hot, so let me turn the amperage down a little bit on there, and we'll match it with the voltage, amperage and voltage as well. I've noticed it's on point. It's set actually on 0.9. So as we're going to switch it over now to 0.8, and let's have a look, see what happens. It's still running hot. Let's pull it down a little bit more. So really we're only using the quarter away of the settings, so it's way low. Let's see if we can just join 2 pieces together. Let's have a look to see where we are with this. We're not having a problem getting an earth through. Let me just put some of heavy on there. I've got a few bits of iron filings on the bench. Just cut the wire down a little bit. Let's see what we can put down on here. Right. Okay. In all honesty, for car welding, that should weld on that setting all day long because it's hardly using anything on there. And if I could just find something just to knock the slag off. Let's have a look. Now that's impressive. Now I don't know whether you can see, I can bring it right up to the camera. Now that is on a low setting, that's welding 1.5. That weld looks absolutely, well I'm quite impressed with that, to be quite honest with you. So and the soft start, it's nice, quiet, smooth. Let's see if we can break it off. That's what a lot of people like to do. Let's see if we can break it off. Let's do a test on it. So, no. So normally, if somebody's put a weld on there like that, they'll pull it and they'll break it off. But that is, yeah, that's gone straight through to the back. Not straight through, but you can see it's well penetrated. Now that is impressive. Now that machine is like 120 pounds. You can weld out in the wind, not worry about buying bottles of gas. That's impressive. Now let's try some thicker stuff. Let's try a bit of 5mm. See how it copes on some 5mm. So I've got a couple of pieces of plate here. This is actually 6mm standard plate. We're not going to grind it up. We're not going to put a prep on it. We're just going to bang it on and we're going to bang a fillet in it. And then see where we go. We'll tack each end first. We'll get the power setting right. And then let's see what it does. See if we can knock it out on a little run. Right now, guessing again, power settings. So as I advise anybody to buy one of these sets, you've got to keep messing about with them. So if you look at the setting on there, it's quite low. So we're going to go halfway on each and see what happens. So as we're going to go halfway on the voltage, so that's straight up. Halfway on the amperage, that's straight up. And let's see what happens. I've got a bit of dirt on my tip, so I'm going to put my gloves on because I don't, oh here we go, 2 lefts again, all the time I pick gloves up. Right, okay, so I'll use that, but just wipe, don't forget you don't need a tip on this because there's no gas coming out, so it's pointless. Now that's setting halfway now, I'm going to put a run down there and then let's have a look at it. And then we can get one from the other side and see where we go with that. Now if you look at that, that's the halfway setting, and if you can just about look at that, I'm going to knock the slag off there in a minute. Now it's really welded nice. It's really welded nice. Let's have a look. So the slags come off there quite nice. And if I can hold this up to the camera, I'm not sure whether you can see that, but that is on halfway power setting. A nice, neat, small bead. I am impressed. That's to say that's half the power. So let's see what else we can find and up the power a little bit more. Right then, what we got here? I have got some thicker plates somewhere, but I'm not sure. If you go 10 mil, perhaps. Let's just whack the power up on it, eh? So we're going to go 3/4 and 3/4. Clean the tip, and we'll do the last piece. And we're going to try and put a little bit of a weave on it this time. I'm just going to hold that in so we've got a good contact through the bench. So let's have a look. Well impressed with that. So as we've upped the power to 3/4 of the way, well, nearly 3/4, still more to come on this, and we've put a little bit of a weave in on the weld. Let's see if I can just pull this off, show you this. I must admit I am quite impressed with this machine. I could do with a wire brush, but I just threw one in the bin. If you can just see that there, we've put a little bit of a weave on it, and it's gone in there really nice. So as for small fabrications, maybe it's all right. I mean, personally, if you're just a DIYer, that is the set to go. The only thing what you may find with it is because of the size of it, whether it'll be difficult to get in where you're welding, but it has got quite a long neck on there. So far I'm impressed with that. Shall we whack it up a bit more? Shall we whack it on full blast and see what happens? Why not? Let's see what we can find. I should have some a bit of 8mm. I've got some let me have a look. Right, okay. I've got some 10mm, and I've got some small bits. I'm running out of stuff here. See what I can find in my box. Right, so I've got some 8mm. We're going to leave a 1mm gap. I'm going to whack the power right up to its maximum, and let's have a look, see what happens now. Let's have a look, see what happens. Put a tack in the middle, I think. Jesus. One on the end. Round this end. Unbelievable. So what we're going to do now is just flip it over. So as we've got a slight gap in there. Now we're on full power. Well, actually, not full power. It's about the 16th, 3 mil off from full. I'm going to whack a run in there now and see what happens. See if we can get it to cut out. It's probably penetrated halfway through. However, if I can just get this with these stupid pliers to try and hold it, if I can get that there, we've actually got a nice bead on that. Now that's impressive for a cheap Chinese spool on gun with a power or in the hands. That is really impressive. So I'm happy with that. I'd like to try it on my welder generator now in the 110 volt auxiliary. We'll start off again with some thin stuff and then we'll get to some thick stuff. So far I'm well impressed with that. And as you can see on the settings we've got here, we can still go. Oh no, that was on full blast. What about that one? Yeah, that had got a little bit left in it. So yeah, for the money, let's see what happens when we get it on the generator and see if it's generator compatible, whether it works or not. That's another thing. So let's get on the field then. Let's get the old generator going and then we can review this then and see whether it's worth buying or not. Right then, not quite in the field, but this is going to give us a chance to try this on the 110 volt power supply on the welder generator. So let's get that cracked up, bang in the lead, and let's see if it is generator friendly. Generator's running. Have a look. See where we go. Yeah. We can shut this door a little bit. Looks like a bit of quietness. We can. If I switch it on, it should bring the power up on the generator. Well, that's a theory anyway. Have a look. There we are. Switch the set on. So we switch the set on, and we've got now up acceleration on the generator. So it may affect it, it may not. But let's have a look. Let's see where we are with the settings. So as we're going to go half and half with the settings, and let's try a little bit of 2 mil. So where we go with that. Okay, so it's doing quite well. Now that's impressive. You can hear it pulling the generator down a bit. Now we're about 3 kVA on the generator. Now I've got something a little bit thicker. Let's turn the power up a little bit more. We'll go 3/4 on the settings, and let's see what that does to the generator. I am impressed with that. Now if you can just see the welds on there, obviously you've got to knock the slag off, but that is an impressive piece of kit. Not sure how long it will last, but for the price, trial tested, and I'll give it an 8 out of 10. What more can I say? It's worth having a shot, and I'm sure it will get you out the poo now and again. So that it's going to be stored in the van now. Get a few spools of 0.8 flux core, and then see how we go with that. But that's my views anyway. So I hope you've enjoyed watching. There'll be other things later on in the series. Please subscribe. It doesn't cost you a penny. The more I get, the better it is for me, the more things I can try out. Once again, thanks for watching. Bye.